friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Amanda. So in today's video, I've got 3 easy and delicious crock pot recipes for y'all. These are now going to be some of my most favorite crock pot recipes I've ever made. They were so good, so I can't wait to show them to y'all. Now this video is also special because it's part of a collaboration hosted by Sammy at Managing the Maze and Tamara at Southern Wife Everyday Life. They're hosting a Crocktober collab. So it's going to be a ton of crock pot recipes. I can't wait to see what everyone has made. I'll have their channels linked below as well as the entire playlist. So make sure you check them and the playlist out. I know there's going to be lots of great recipes. So I'm excited to see those. And of course, if you're new to my channel and you're coming over, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And of course, if you're returning, always thankful for your support as well. But I'm really excited to get these recipes shown to y'all. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So we're going to get started with the slow cooker chicken thighs, and I really feel like this should have been named something different because the name really doesn't let you know what flavor's coming or anything. But we're going to just put some honey, ketchup, soy sauce, and then some spices, which will be like oregano, red pepper flakes, and some garlic. And I didn't have any fresh ginger, so I just used like the powdered ginger, and that seemed to work fine. So this is going to be our sauce, marinade, whatever you want to call it, that the chicken will cook in the crock pot. And I did go ahead and double this recipe. I could just tell that by the ingredients, I was pretty sure everybody was going to like this. So I actually made the sauce up earlier in the day. And then during my lunch hour, I put my chicken on in the crock pot because it really didn't, you know, it said to cook like 5 to 6 hours on low. So if you cook on high, it would be even shorter than that. And so I didn't want it to get like overdone. So I put it on my lunch hour, and that worked out great. So we're just going to go ahead and turn that on and let it cook. And then once it is all cooked, you will need to thicken that sauce up a little bit. Or, well, I guess you don't have to, but like I like it a little thicker. And so we'll do that in just a minute. Also thought some like roasted veggies would go really well with it. So I just sprayed them with some avocado oil. And then I just put things on it like just kind of typical seasonings. I didn't want anything to stand out specifically in comparison with like the Asian theme of the sauce. So I just did like garlic powder, onion powder, those types of things. And you could do whatever seasonings you want, obviously, on that. And also put some fresh cracked pepper on there as well. And then just put them in the oven. I want to say I cooked them on like 400 or 425, something like that, just until they get kind of toasty and is, you know, like you'd like them to be. And this is some of the liquid from the crock pot, and I'm putting in a couple of tablespoons of cornstarch and just whisking that together. Now the recipe did tell you to do this in the crock pot. It said that, you know, you could let it cook for 30 minutes in the crock pot, but honestly I felt like it would be faster just to do it on the stove, and I have to get everything out of the crock pot anyway, so I felt like this would be easier. You don't have to do it this way, but you can see there it's thickened up a little, and so you definitely, if you want it thicker, could add more cornstarch. But we thought this was perfect, and we made some rice to go with it. So between the rice and the sauce and the veggies and the chicken, y'all, this was so good. It had so much yummy flavor to it. I also think it would be great just to make that sauce, and like if you wanted to like saute the chicken and cook it that way, that would be really good too. And so I just topped the chicken and rice with the sauce, and y'all, like I said, this sauce was so good. This recipe was really good. It will definitely be a repeat in our household. All of these recipes in this video were super delicious. I was really impressed, and so I'm excited to share all of them with you. But this one is definitely a must try. So I truly feel that I may be one of the last people to ever make Mississippi chicken. I've seen it so many times, and it's always looked so good. It's always been in my mind. I need to make that. I need to try that. Cannot believe I waited so long. It was absolutely delicious. Now, I will warn you, it can be kind of high in sodium. So I took shortcuts where I could on that. I actually used my homemade ranch dressing mix. I'll have that linked in the description box below. It's on my blog. But that has no salt in it whatsoever. And so that kind of helped on that. And then I found the lowest sodium au jus gravy mix package I could find, and I used that. I also used less of the pepperoncini juice that the recipe calls for, partly because I didn't want it super spicy or anything like that. I wasn't sure if it would make it spicy. And some of the reviews of this recipe that I'm using said to use less of that juice. So I took that hint and went ahead and did that. And I think I forgot to say at the beginning, but we did like lay the onions down on top and then put the chicken breast on top of that. I will tell you that we will definitely be making this again. I probably will cut the butter in half because I'll be honest, I didn't see the benefit of a whole stick of butter, but that's just me. So I probably will maybe do like half a stick or something just to make it a little more healthier. And we put our chicken broth and 1/4 cup of the pepperoncini juice in there. And then I'm also just going to make some mashed potatoes, because obviously I feel like you've got to have a vessel for those juices that are in that crock pot. And what better vessel than mashed potatoes? So that's definitely, to me, a must-have side with things like this. This is like, to me, very comfort food. I love crock pot meals that are different. I know a lot of them have like cream of soups and stuff like that. And so I love finding recipes that are a little different and don't necessarily have that type of stuff. Not that I don't, like cream of chicken type soups and stuff like that. They're okay too, but it's just nice to have something different. So I've got my chicken here, my mashed potatoes. I just took out the juices out of the crock pot. I was going to make a gravy, like actually thicken it a little bit, but I didn't end up doing that. And I'll be honest with you, it really didn't need it. It was really good like it was. So if you want to thicken it up, you definitely could. But it also isn't like a necessity. It's really good, like especially with those onions in there. Oh my goodness! But I love onions, so that was delicious. And then I had green beans, of course. To me, mashed potatoes, green beans, like comfort food side items like that to me. So this was great. I cannot recommend it enough. My son even actually ate some of the chicken on like I made a sandwich out of it. I think he actually put barbecue sauce on it and said that was good too. So here we've got crockpot chicken tortilla soup. I have made crockpot chicken tortilla soup, I think, on here before. This is a different recipe. This one actually called for roasted red peppers, and I was really intrigued by this. I've never had roasted red peppers, and so I was kind of excited to try and see what, how this would taste and what different flavors that would bring. So I'm just adding some chopped onion to the crock pot, my 2 chicken breasts, and then we're also going to add some black beans drained, some corn drained. I used canned corn, but it did say frozen corn. You could use either one interchangeably. It doesn't really matter. And then some tomatoes, green chilies. Now the recipe called for seasoned black beans. I didn't have those. I used plain. It was great. I mean, this was very flavorful. So if you don't have seasoned ones, don't worry about it. I feel like there's so many things you can change about a recipe and it still be perfectly fine a lot of times. And then we're adding our roasted red peppers in there. We've got kind of a spice mix of chili powder, paprika, cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, oregano. I think I put some garlic salt in there too. And then we're just going to add a carton of chicken stock or broth, whichever one you have on hand. And honestly, this recipe would even work if you wanted to just let the soup mixture go all day. And let's say you had a rotisserie chicken and maybe just throw it in like the last 30 or so minutes, 30 minutes to an hour of cooking or something like that. You could definitely use cooked chicken in this if you want to as well. So a great way to use maybe leftover chicken or that type of thing. But we're just going to get those pieces of chicken breast out and then shred it up, and then we'll return it to the pot. And y'all, I'm serious, this was like really good and flavorful. I really, really liked it. And it's one of those things that's so easy to make. All these recipes were super easy and just dump and go type crock pot recipes. So like it's something that you could easily throw in and not have to fiddle with, again. So I really appreciated that. And I mean, especially with working full time, it definitely is handy to do crock pot meals like this. And since I do work from home, I will say that, recipes that, kind of you can start on your lunch hour that don't need to necessarily cook all day are kind of nice too, because I can start that. And I know a lot of people go home for lunch even if they don't work from home. So, that's another thing as well that you could do is start it, during your lunch hour and then have dinner ready when you get home. And you don't even have to think about dinner. You just dish it out or maybe make your side dishes or that type of thing. And I mean, that's perfect to me. So anything like that to save time but still have like, a good healthy meal cooked is awesome. So we're also going to add just a little bit of lime juice to this, and then y'all can top it with whatever your heart desires. So many great topping options for this. I just did sour cream, cheese, and tortilla strips. It was amazing. But y'all, I am so glad to be a part of this Crocktober collab. It's being hosted by Tamara from Southern Wife Everyday Life. and Sammy from Managing the Maze, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Make sure you check out their channels. I'll have them linked below, as well as the entire playlist. I cannot wait to see all the delicious crockpot recipes. It's going to be so fun, and it's always nice to have new recipes to make. A big thank you to Sammy and Tamara for hosting this collab, and thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. I hope y'all have a blessed day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.